I gotta be honest, when the first movie came out 9 years ago, I would have never expected it to be this huge phenomenon from DreamWorks. So, will this third film top it all off and make it a perfect trilogy, or at least a great trilogy? Let's find out. So this is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. It's the third movie in the series, and it's the first DreamWorks animated movie to be distributed by Universal, since they jumped ship from Fox to Universal. And even though this movie was made 5 years after the second one, it takes place just 1 year later, where Hiccup, once again voiced by Jay Baruchel, and all of his friends and his girlfriend and his mother are freeing dragons all over the land and continue bringing them back to Berk. But Berk is overcrowded with dragons to the point where they've become exposed, they're no longer a secret, and that gets the attention of a certain dragon hunter who was responsible for killing most of the Night Furies out there. And when he finds out that Hiccup's Night Fury, Toothless, is out there, he goes on a quest to try to kill this final Night Fury. And because of this, Hiccup decides to find the Hidden World, which is a place where dragons can live in peace, while Toothless himself ends up finding another Night Fury, a female if you want to be exact. So if you've been following my channel over the past 9 months, I should say, and you've seen my top 100 favorite movies list, you know that How to Train Your Dragon came in at 85. It's not my favorite DreamWorks movie, that honor goes to Shrek 2, but it's probably their most beautiful and mature movie out there. It was an animated movie designed to be in 3D because of the flying sequences, and at the end of the movie where we find out that Hiccup lost a leg and he's now wearing a prosthetic, that always blows my mind, that an animated movie, especially from a studio as high profile as DreamWorks, would even do that. So I love it. And then the second movie I really like as well, although I don't remember it. I haven't watched it since it came out in theaters. I remember a few things about it, but it just didn't leave the same impression on me as the first one did. So now we got the third one here, and it's supposed to be the Big Trilogy capper. I'm sure they're going to be making more movies because next to Shrek and Kung Fu Panda, this is DreamWorks' most profitable franchise. But I honestly hope they don't, because this right here is a great film and a perfect ending to this story right here set between these three movies. If you ever go back and watch all three movies together, you'll notice that the big bulk of the story is the friendship between these two characters, Hiccup and Toothless. Two misfits that suddenly grow into their own right to become leaders. And I know part of the reason why this friendship works is because Toothless is designed to look like a cat or a dog, which hey, no problem, I love both cats and dogs. But even without the idea that Toothless looks like a pet, it's just a very believable friendship, and it just really excels in this movie. They continue to do such a good job of giving not just Toothless, but all of the other dragons personalities to where you really care about them, because they have so many unique designs and distinctive personalities to where you remember each dragon. And that's not to say you don't care about the human characters either, because Jay Baruchel as Hiccup, even though that voice honestly just doesn't work for a character who's constantly getting older. I mean, it worked in the first movie, but it just feels a bit weird in this movie. Not to the point where it takes me out of it, but to the point where I'm like, you really have not hit puberty yet, have you? But besides the voice, Jay Baruchel still does a really good job, and it's really cool to see Hiccup continue to grow as a leader. He was the runt of the village in the first one who was really looked down upon by his dad, and it's just so cool to see him grow in these movies. And then everything else you'd expect from the rest of the series is so well done. The animation's once again gorgeous, the flying sequences are amazing, it's one of DreamWorks' best looking movies. And the reason I single out the look of the movie is because while the credits were rolling, I noticed that the visual consultant was Roger Deakins. That's right, the same Roger Deakins who shot most of the Coen Brothers movies, Blade Runner 2049, Skyfall, one of the best, if not the single best cinematographer working today. And I had to look up on IMDb to see if that was really the Roger Deakins, and I didn't know he was a visual consultant for not just the first two movies, but also Rango and WALL-E. Wow. So that just really blew my mind that those movies, especially the How to Train Your Dragon series, brought in Roger Deakins just to help with getting the look of this movie down, because it really is one of DreamWorks' best looking films. I actually have two criticisms with this movie. One is a personal issue that's not really a mark against the movie and the story it's telling, but for being subtitled The Hidden World, we don't really spend that much time in the hidden world. I won't say more than that, but I'll admit that it's one of those things where I was expecting one thing and the movie gave me something else. So I'm not going to hold that against the movie. What I am going to hold against this movie is the fact that those two twins, I don't remember those two characters being as annoying in the first two movies as they are here. I mean, the first movie, you could get away with them because they're a bunch of bratty kids. But by this movie, they get so annoying to the point where they do stupid things. And I'm just thinking that everyone probably would have been better off if they got rid of these two people. And I'm not going to hold that against Kristen Wiig and the voice actor who's replacing TJ Miller, but Jesus Christ, I cannot stand these characters. Every time these two characters were on the screen, the movie just lost points for me, and I was just like, oh God, please get these people off screen. I cannot deal with them. They are so stupid. But those are the only criticisms that I have with this movie. Like the last two movies, it's visually stunning. The 3D is excellent. I actually think this movie looked better in 3D than the second one did, because when you actually go to the hidden world in this movie, they take full advantage of the 3D. And there's one moment where somebody throws down a weapon close to the camera, and I jumped out of my seat. That and the fact that after a while, I forgot I was watching it in 3D. I don't think it's as good as the first one. That first movie is still incredible, but I do like this a lot more than the second one, which I still like. So I'd say the third one here is worth seeing in your lifetime. Throughout most of this movie, I was thinking to myself, yeah, this is very good, but there's nothing about it that's making it great. And then it got to the end of the movie where the ending of the movie honestly made me shed a tear. If you've been a fan of the series since the beginning, this is a requirement. And even if you're not a fan of the series, it's still something you have to see because it's a gorgeous movie and you have to see it in 3D in order to get the full experience. It's that good. And that's my review for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you've seen it, what did you think? Do you like this series as a whole? Did you not like this movie? Do you like none of the movies? Let me know, and until next time, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and of course leave a comment. Don't forget to support my Patreon page, follow me on social media, and until next time, this is the Real Mr. Robinson telling you, there's only one.